welcome back to Haut Beyleron. So we are still on the same in-game day as the sorghum harvest and also the purchase of the grain mill and the purchase of our lime spreader and our roller. So what we've done is we've gone ahead, we've set up GPS. We've got the majority of our main field spread with lime. Not sure if we're going to have enough to do those little bits. I don't think we are. Looking at this, I don't think we're going to make it to the end. Oh, we might just. But for the most part, we're laughing because that is a lot better than it was. So if we just come across there on an angle, something litres, that's not going to be enough to do this. Unless we... There we go. So that's everything we have. That also included the last 1,000 litres of lime that we had left in the rock crusher. So now we've got to find somewhere we can put this guy. It can go in there beside the other fert spreader. And we can actually get those beacons turned off. Oh, very tight turning on this thing. It does swing pretty hard. Oh, that's not the way we wanted to go with that. And we'll leave him right there. Okay, so that takes care of the lime. What we've also got to do is head up to the shop, pick up the roller. We've probably got all that honey to get rid of at some point soon as well. But what we need to concern ourselves with is getting crops into these paddocks before we run out of time. We do have tomorrow, so we're obviously on 1 day seasons now. Oh, sorry, 1 day months, so 3 day seasons. We could turn that down, but what we want to do is we want to get wheat into the main field, because we sort of want that for the chickens. But we may put some into the mill as well. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll turn those beacons back on now. We'll head up to the store. We will grab our roller. We'll get this field rolled. And then we will throw some wheat in there. Now you will notice that the funds are going down. That is because the productions do cost us. So when you turn your productions on, make sure that when you're finished with the produce that's in there, you don't have any more produce to put through, make sure you shut that down or you deactivate it. Right, so this should just work on its own. We'll do a strip, we'll jump in and we will check out what the map says. But I'm pretty sure once we get up to here, you should notice, yeah, you can see the change in texture. Jackknife that right around. Realistically, that should have torn that off of the linkage. Right, so let's jump into our map. If we come back to here, yep, that takes care of the needs rolling section. So that's good. And if you come into your help, rolling, will grant you an additional yield bonus when rolling over the seed bed after sowing. Okay. Okay, so we'll put that away. Should have probably read that before we jumped in. So what we want to do first is get the weed in the ground. So what we'll do, we'll just leave this guy here. We'll get set up, we'll get the seeder going, or the seed drill going. Then what we might do is jump into the stayer. We'll pick up whatever honey and egg pellets we've got laying around, and we'll get them up to the farm shop and sold off. Now we can't go with sorghum, so we want to go with, I've gone past it, wheat. Now we're only doing this much wheat because the plan is, once we have the money, we're going to get rid of our small chicken sheds, or small chicken pastures, and put in a large chicken shed. We're looking at quite a large outlay as far as funds go, but it just makes sense. We need to get more produce happening. So what we'll do a headland, then we'll pass it over to the worker. We'll do this in a time lapse, so we will also take the eggs and the honey up, because it's all going to the farm shop. We'll take all that up in the same time lapse, and hopefully get back here in time to take over from this guy. something we haven't actually done is had a look around the farm shop for any collectibles either. So we'll get this placed over the sell point and we'll go for a bit of a run. Just see if we can find anything. I don't like our chances because I'm pretty sure it was that building just up there where we found one, so that's pretty close if there is one here. I'm pretty sure we've checked most of those buildings out along that top line as well. That's all the honey gone. There's another $17,000. Wow. So I'm assuming it is the eggs that were definitely worth that. But let's do what we said. We'll go for a quick look. Not really expecting to find anything up here. We would have seen one there as we were driving in. Not one down in there. Now the old hay cart. That's pretty cool. We can push a trolley around. Okay, we'll just pretend we were never here. Something around the signs, maybe. Whoop. We can jump up there. Nothing on those. Oh, nothing on those signs. What about these ones? Can't see one there. Can't see anything up on the roof. Yeah, nice little cafe or restaurant. Oh, there's a game there. Oh, there's a cartridge there. That's pretty cool. The Heart Lifter. Here I was focused on the actual game itself, and I didn't even notice the cartridge sat there. Okay, so that's another one. We're slowly making inroads into finding these. Oh, I'll turn you off. Into finding all of these different cartridges. Wouldn't think there'd be another one hidden in the corner. No, there's not. There's not one hidden around this shed somewhere. In the rubbish cart. No, can't see one on the roof. Okay, so just like that, we've gone from 14,000 back up to 81. So we're definitely making inroads. Anyway, let's get back to the farm. We'll see you guys down there. And we will take over the rest of the planting. What we may do, depending on how far Old Meat's made it down the field, we may throw the roller on the back of this guy and let him start rolling those seeds in for us, which apparently is the right way to do it. You roll the seed beds after you've planted them. That's a big paddock of sunflowers. entirely worried about that section that the planters missed, the seed drills missed. Get that folded out. Get it lined up a bit better. Okay, so that tank's empty. I wonder what it is, whether it's fertilizer or whether it is seeds. Either way, I reckon they're both gonna need something else put into them, because I reckon both tanks were about the same. So he can take care of that. Seeds. Perfect, we've got seeds. At least I think we've got seeds. It may be fertilizer. Now, I wonder if the 1.2 patch took care of the collisions that were on this seeder, or seed drill. If you remember from previous episode, it didn't remove or revert the collisions back to folded collisions. It kept them out. No, I think it may have taken care of it. That's strange. Anyway, don't have to complain. That's going to let us fill up. Perfect. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh, 147 litres. I don't think that's going to get us to the end. I definitely don't think that's going to get us all the way done. It's alright, we'll get what we can done. We'll run up to the shop. We'll fill this up with fertilizer and seed, because it just makes sense to. We'll pause that worker. Oh, why is that? Why did that not start? There we go. Now she's starting. Yeah, like I said, we'll get done what we can. We'll run this up, fill it up, and pause the worker while we're at it. We don't want him to come over and roll the sections that haven't been planted yet. What we may actually end up doing is, when we do purchase that field behind us, which I definitely want to do, we may join these into it, create one big super field, but we'll straighten it up. So from this corner down in front of us, we'll go straight across, straighten it up completely so it's a rectangular field. And anything below that line, what we'll do is we'll put grass into it, because grass was going to be what that field was for. But I reckon it'll work out a lot better doing it the other way, the way that we just said we'd do it. Okay, so we may not get another pass out of this. we will get one more pass, but we're definitely not going to make it back the other way. And that roller should actually push those rocks back into the ground for us. So anyway, we'll let him get to the other end. Actually, no. We'll just stop him there. Shut that down. Get this folded up. And we'll head up to the store. Seeing the colours of the leaves starting to change. We're obviously into autumn. So we're in the start of autumn. By next month, so tomorrow's in-game day, what you'll see is a very, very large chunk of all the trees on the map become completely orange. Okay, so we want big bags, 910 for 500 litres for the Polish bag of seeds. Don't like that. That's very expensive. Oh no, that was fertiliser. And it's about on par. So we'll just buy the bigger bags. What we'll do is stock ourselves up. We're not going to use all of this, but we can get it back to the farm. Keep hitting that wrong button. Okay, so we've got 2 of each left there. Perfect. What we need to do is turn some lights on. Turn some more on when we get back to the field. Don't want to blind the traffic. And we'll get this underway again. And that is the end of planting for today. It's not a bad effort. We've got the planting done. Old mate should finish the rolling there pretty soon. In fact, whereabouts is he? Can't even see him. Oh, you can just sort of see a little white speck going across just above the fent now. That'd be him. So we'll park the fence up. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted to do. beacons off. Like I said, we'll let him continue. We've got a 75% yield bonus, so that's not bad. We'll take that where we can get it. Plus we've still got another round of fertilizing to go, so that'll bring that up again. Before we rest for the night, we'll have a look. No, nothing new in there. The other thing we can look at is improving yield. So we've done liming. Fertilise we'll do a second time. There's no weeds in there. Well, the weeds will come up. We'll get rid of them. We've done the stone picking. Rolling's getting done. And mulching. Mulching's the next one we want to look at. By applying a layer of biological material on top of the soil, mulching improves your soil, therefore yield of crops. Use a mulcher on stubble after harvesting crops before you cultivate the field. This works for any crop that leaves stubble. You will gain a bonus on your yield for the next harvest. When growing grapevines or olive groves, you cultivate first, unlike with crop stubble, and mulch sometime later. As soon as new grass has begun to grow, you basically cut the grass to prevent weed growth, also to make everything look nice and clean. There's also a forestry mulcher in the forestry equipment category of the shop. This one is used to remove bushes, tree stumps to the left after chopping down trees. That we don't have to worry about too much. Real mower hasn't come out yet, so the mowers won't take care of the bushes. However, we do have lumberjack mod installed, so we can get rid of the stumps ourselves with the chainsaw. How is our sorghum production going? Getting there. We may deactivate that overnight because I don't know how much space we have. Okay, so we're getting close to being pretty full into swing now. The trees that we've put in are looking nice. Oh, that was not wise. I shouldn't have slept. Should have let him finish doing what he was doing. Because if we come into there now, we've got a large section that still needs rolling. So we can take needing ploughing off, we can take needs lime off because we've covered that. Mulched we haven't done, stones we don't need to worry about. He wasn't going the full width either, or the full length. Okay, so that was a mistake. Lesson learned. We're not going to get as big of a yield off of this as I kind of hoped we were. Thankfully it's in its first growth state, so we don't need to worry about the wheels from the roller causing damage to the crop. We will need to get the weeder in there sometime within the next couple of days, I reckon. It's going to shoot some weeds up at us. Leave that there for now. And what else have we got to do? Chickens haven't really produced too much in the way of eggs. Honey pellets still spawning. What we'll do is we'll jump across and we will visit that. As I expected, we're maxed out for how much space we have. What we'll do, we'll get that producing again. What is the price for flour at the moment? On the way up. September, yeah, it's going to keep going up as well. So, what we need to do is get up there. We can get up there in the next episode. That will continue to make flour. But we'll need to get up there and get those pellets moved out the way so the other ones can generate in their spot. But it will continue to make flour the entire time that it's on. We don't need to worry about that. Actually, that is what we need to do though. We need to throw fert spreader on. And we've got plenty of that stuff, which is good. And we'll end the episode, guys, with us doing a little bit of spreading. So that's today's episode. Was pretty much just getting everything ready. So this field was good to go. We're actually wasting a lot of fertilizer there. Okay guys, so thanks for joining in once again. Hope you've liked the episode. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for future episodes, and we'll see you guys next time.